We're doing a giveaway on the Smoky D's food truck. Comment below, follow us, subscribe, tag 3 people. We'll pick.
Welcome to Cue the Mic. I'm Darren Worth.
And I'm the ultrately handsome Randy Twyford.
And I'm Emma Derflinger, and this is episode 110.
110.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad to see Emma's back on the home front, not doing a sleepover today.
Can you stop it?
Up.
I got a lot of comments. I got my butt chewed first thing in the morning. Mom walks in and going, "What are you doing talking about my daughter's sex life on the podcast?" I'm like,
What?
it was just trying to get a rise out of her, which we did.
Yeah,
and so then I heard from probably 3 different listeners this week going, "Oh, that was good. That was good." I had one last night sent me a message. He goes, "I was listening to the podcast like I normally do, and I had to log out and go to the YouTube just so I could see the video of Emma's face." I'm like, "Yep, that's what we wanted. That's what we're trying to do. Just trying to drag him in."
Reel them in.
I said, "Wow." I said, her grandma was listening. I said, "You ought to have seen what I was going to say," but I held back.
God. We don't need to get into it. And it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
On to the next thing.
So where are you broadcasting from today, Darren?
I'm in the lovely state of Florida.
All right. You guys getting any bad weather down there?
No, not yet. It'll blow through here in an hour or two. It does every afternoon, about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. We get a little blows through a storm this time of year, but I'm telling you, absolutely magnificent weather.
Good.
It's like 94 degrees, which Fat Darren would have said, "This is fucking miserable."
Right.
But Skinnier Darren says it's amazing. I mean, It's like, even Sherry was outside. She goes, "Are you hot?" And I'm like, "No," because I've been working outside all day. I've been working on my computer doing work stuff all day outside, and she's been kind of reading a book, and she come underneath the awning, and she's like, "I'm hot." And I'm like, "You're hot?" I said, "It's not really that hot out." And so, I mean, it's just because all the people are gone. So it's like, nice. You can like drive through town and don't have to fight the crowds. We went to, she wanted to go to, we didn't get here till last night. So she wanted to go, we got here and she's like watching the Fever game. And I'm like, "You got to be 7:30. I'm like, that's 6:30 Iowa time. It's about time for something to eat.
Right.
And we didn't have any groceries. So we were trying to play, restaurant bingo, trying to figure out what to do. You know how that goes.
Yep.
And finally, I'm like, "Okay, I'll just give in. You want to go to the Deck Bar, Sherry?" Which is her favorite bar. Well, I'm not going to turn that down. So we went to the Deck Bar, and they just have magnificent little burger sliders.
Oh.
They're just crazy good. So we had a couple little burger sliders each for dinner. That was really good. She had a couple beers. I had me a Diet Coke. It was a ladies' night, so she's like, "Well, I can't watch the rest of the Fever game because, it was on Prime Video." And I'm like, "Sure you can, honey." So I got my phone out, just like a parenting adult. Got Amazon Prime, got the video, and I set it right in front of her. And I said, "Here, honey, here's your Fever game." "Oh, that's nice of you." So then I just sat around and enjoyed watching the people in the bar. Had a Diet Coke.
Seems like what I'm used to that every day in the food truck.
Yeah.
With the guys doing some kind of thing. The big thing now is they're betting on golf.
Are they betters? Better watch out. Them college athletes, they're going to get in trouble betting on shit.
Well, they're big time betters. I mean,
They got busted at Iowa State, you know.
I actually had my food.
They were using their not really a lot of different because they weren't even betting on their games, but they were using their mom's passwords
Oh,
to bet, and I don't know why the NCAA came down on them hard. I mean, made them ineligible and all kinds of shit. I'm like, fucking every kid in the world's doing that today.
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how they could trace that, but they traced it back. I'm like, isn't that kind of personal? But especially when it's not registered under their name. But I don't know. Kids will be kids. I guess that's what they do now. They bet. No wonder they never have any money. But they must have money because they always DoorDash and shit.
Yeah. We had a little weather come through here a couple days earlier this week and busted the skylights out of my shed.
Really?
Yeah.
You get some hail or what?
Yeah, big hail.
We got some hail too this week, but not that bad.
Yeah, it busted the skylights. Looked like somebody didn't like me anymore and threw rocks at me.
So what'd you do? You got them fixed, or is it just raining
Yeah, a
inside?
guy's coming to fix it today, matter of fact. Put new skylights in. Hasn't rained since, so.
Hasn't rained since. I see there this weekend we're supposed to. Well, we're not, but in southern Missouri, I read a forecast. They're supposed to get 6-7 inches down around in southern Missouri. I mean that whole belt down there just. I don't know, something. God doesn't love them anymore or something.
They sure don't. He sure don't.
Mm-hmm.
He pissed him off. Somebody pissed him off. Mother Nature, something. I don't know.
But they've been getting the bad weather, that's for dang sure.
They must have had a drought for so long and too many people were praying or whatever. Now they're getting it all at once.
Kind of overdid it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. That's how that works.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how that works.
That's how it works. You look like you just woke up from a nap, Emma. Did you
Me?
take a nap?
No.
Are you lying? You can always
Yeah.
tell she's lying. She's lying.
Yeah, I took a nap.
Gosh, how do you do that?
I don't know.
I've been known to
closed
take a
my
nap
eyes.
during the day.
Really?
Yeah.
I
All I
love
need is
nice-
about 15 minutes. I just need about 15 minutes and I'm good.
The dogs were all cuddling up next to me. My blankets were warm. I had the curtains open, so the sun was shining just right. It was perfect.
Well, I got to
just
have
dozed off.
complete dark.
Oh, no.
Really?
My mom
Yeah,
raised
see,
us right.
I've
I
been
don't need
working
any
on
of
a baked potato bar pricing.
Baked potato bar.
Yeah, we had a customer, called up that caters with us a lot and called in and said, hey, we're just trying to do something different. Can we do a baked potato bar? So they called me up and said, hey, can we do a baked potato bar? And I said, yeah, I got a mac and cheese bar that is pretty much the same thing. I
Sure.
priced out last week, so let me get to work on it. I just need to up some volumes, but I wanted to go in and look at all the pricing on the details. And man, wow, have you seen chicken thighs?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Have you seen chicken
Yes.
thighs?
We talked about
I
it
had
last
to buy-
week.
I had to buy 2 cases last week.
Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Look at this!
Oh,
Look at that!
Looks
look at
like
that.
my heartbeat when I was a kid.
Yeah,
in college.
look at that. Look at that. So look here. Back at the end of February, we were $60 a case,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Through
What
our
are you now?
through our regular provider, PFG, yesterday we ordered $103 a case thighs, right?
Uh-huh.
They didn't have enough. They didn't have enough to get us through the weekend. We needed 14 more cases to get us through the weekend. And so I hated doing it, but I went to Cisco and I had just landed and they called me and said what to do. I said, well, let me pull over because I had actually got a rental van because the kids are coming in town. So I pulled over into the gas station. I went on to Cisco, $120 a case.
Darren, a couple weeks ago, I paid almost $160.
Whoa, Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You could have drove to Des Moines, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, my chicken is costing me more than brisket.
Yeah.
I've
That's
even
it's
given
just
some
nuts.
thought about just doing away with it for a while till the price
Well,
comes down.
and we got a message. We got a message about the chicken market from
What's it say?
Well, let me just read that to you.
This
Let me find it. I gotta
just
answer
in.
my. I gotta find my. I gotta go through 500,000 emails. Here it is. Here's an update on the chicken market on breast and tenders per one of our manufacturers. In late January this year, we saw a large volume of jumbo breast meat contracted and taken off the market, and at the same time as a large jumbo plant had a fire and removed significant supply. This caused a run on breast meat that lasted over 3 months, thus driving up the price. The market reacted by chasing tenders as a substitute for breast meat shortages and eventually as a value because breast meat far surpassed tenders in price. With tenders being less than 7% of the cutout, trying to replace demand for BSB, which is 30% of the cutout, the volume just is not there, is why we see demand for tenders at such high level. Take those factors and add industry-wide hatchability and mortality issues driving live weights down, more
Right.
head needed to make a 40-pound case, we have experienced demand surpassing supply. I do feel there's hope on the horizon. We're seeing BSB fill rates improve significantly. Tenders continue to rise as breast meat is plateaued. And once that price gap's corrected, we should see demand for tenders stifle and rebalance.
Yeah.
So help us on the way.
Just
Help
hang
is
in
on
there.
the way, dear.
But, of course, they say that large contract for that breast meat and the thing. Well, I guarantee that was a fucking McDonald's saying they're going into the tender market, but they weren't going into the tender market. Well, they're going into the tender market, but their tenders were just chicken breast cut into pieces.
Strips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hard to believe one company can affect all of us.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then you look at wings. Wings are cheaper.
Yeah.
My wings were down, I think, $4 a case this past
How
week.
did your wings fare
Very
on the
well.
food truck? Very well.
They went very well. We sold quite a few.
Did you decide to season them before the smoker or after the smoker?
After, like we'd talked.
You did? Yeah.
Well, we smoked them, cooled them, then deep fried them, and then we put the rub on them after they were deep fried.
Yeah. Worked
And
out.
they were really good. I tried a couple of them every now and then, and they were really good.
Just
And
every
customers
now and then.
huh?
Just every now and then.
Just as a quality control.
Right.
Kind of like I did my rib sandwich. We've been selling the living daylights out of those rib sandwiches.
Really?
Yeah, at $9 a 3-bone piece.
Huh. Well, you might as well go try and find the cheapest damn rib that you can find to do that.
Exactly.
Right? Why buy a premium rib for that? Go find miscuts.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
You might as well buy miscuts for that.
Yeah,
Might as
that's
well.
true. I got a bunch of ribs I need to get rid of too. So, I mean, when you consider we sell a full rack of ribs for $19, and
Don't tell people that on here. They'll chastise you.
okay,
How big a rib is it?
2.5 and down, I think.
And that's a loin back though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a baby back.
Yeah.
And then we're selling a 3-bone piece for $9. It doesn't take an accountant to figure that one out.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot more of this party rib thing. Have you seen that? Everybody
No.
and their brothers doing the damn party where they're cutting the rib into pieces before they're smoking it.
You mean into single bones?
Individual bones, and then they smoke it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wouldn't take long to smoke, I wouldn't think.
I don't know. It's I've never done it in my life, but it's kind of the newest trend. I see it all over social media.
Huh. Wonder what pricing would be on that.
I don't know, but
You know, we got added labor in this of pulling the bones out of the ribs.
Right.
And so, but yeah, they've both been moving very well.
That's good.
Very well.
What'd you get all over your mic?
Dust.
Oh.
For you,
I
weird.
had a topic to talk about that I've been involved with this week, the last few days, but last weeks or so, is getting permits and stuff for food trucks, and how it varies from city to city, village to village.
Correct.
Everything. And in Springfield, we have to get a city permit and then a county health department permit. So both of those are $250 a piece for a year. And I guess my biggest thing is with most of these things, they'll do it for like $20 a day. I know that's a cheaper way to go, but just kind of guesstimate how many days you're going to be there. And I always get the full year deal.
Right.
And you're way better off, and then you don't have to dick around with it.
Right.
Then, but I mean, you got to have all your paperwork, certificate of insurance, certificate of workman's comp, all your paperwork into them. Then here in Jacksonville, there's an ordinance, but nobody enforces it. So people just go wherever and come and go as they like and that. But what really got me thinking about it is we're going to a new location week after next. We're going to Mount Sterling, a little town, and we've had some people asking us to come up there, and it's right across this road from I made friends with the guy that runs a corn dog stand, and he said we could park on his lot, and which is ironically just across the street from Dot Foods.
Ooh.
Probably, I'd hate to think how many thousand people work there at their warehouses and stuff there in Mount Sterling.
Right.
So we're going to go up there, but now this is just a little. I mean, the town is probably 2,000 on a good day, I would guesstimate. Not a very big, but the paperwork they have you fill out is just. They wanted just unbelievable. I mean, I spent a good part of yesterday afternoon getting it all done. You got to have a health department permit, which that one was $20. Matter of fact, they're waiving it because I'm just going to be up there once and let they know I'll probably be back. But it's $10 for the health department permit, and I think it's like $100 for a yearly permit. So, and then, but for the city, it's $20, and then $240 for a year. We'll see how we do. But the paperwork, they wanted a copy. They want a copy of the registration of the food truck. They wanted a copy of my license since I'm the driver of the license. They want to know where the trash and grease is dumped. And then they wanted your workman's comp. They wanted your liability of your marking them as $1 million on your liability insurance for vehicles. And then general liability, another certificate for having just another $1 million, having them on there. So you've got all those, plus the health department permit. And I mean, they're really nice about it. And they said, why don't we just do this? Why don't we email you the forms so you can fill them out and just scan them and send them back to us? So we've got it done instead of doing it that day. Now, imagine if you showed up that day. Somebody's going to rat you out. They're going to find out, and here they'll come. And trying to fill all that stuff out on the go while you're you're getting loaded or getting busy and stuff like that. But, and then there's another place, SIU, Southern Illinois University, home of the Suck Luckies.
The Suck Luckies.
Their medical school, which I've been there, I mean, last several years we've been there. Well, now they have a special use permit, and it had to go before their board of directors, and it had to go before their attorneys had to draw it all up to places that we've already been to. And I've been dealing with that since January, and that's when we started on it. And Amber, the girl that works at SIU that takes care of the food trucks, she's been working on it. I pretty well had just given up on it. I figured it just wasn't going to happen. Well, just before we went on air, I got an email from her, and the legal department has approved it. And all I got to do is sign it and send it back in. But again, I got to make them on my insurance policies for work. They want workman's comp and the 2 liabilities for a vehicle and just being there of $1 million. So, but that whole million,
yeah,
the whole $1 million deal is, I mean, one thing I can suggest to people, when you're dealing with your insurance company, see if they'll just give you a one price for all. And that's what we did. My insurance company suggested, instead of paying for each one that goes out, I think I pay $100 a year, and they'll write up as many of them as I want.
For additional insured policies or certificate holder policies.
Yeah, yeah. And you just send them your information, and they'll get them put together for you. So
yeah, because we have to send those things out like hotcakes.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. A lot of caterings anymore. I'm getting more and more corporate caterings that they're needing them.
Well, and for instance, you talk about Mount Sterling. They didn't come up with that. So what happened? I can guarantee the way that probably went down. There's probably a guy that works in the office, some clerk, and they probably went to her and said, "Hey, you need to come up with some food truck thing," and she probably went, "Oh, hey, I got a friend that over in Chicago, that she works in Chicago that deals with that. Let me call her." And they send down their shit. "Oh yeah, we'll just use this shit. We'll put our name on it." Same way we would do with everything that we do, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's 10 times more than they need. It's 10 times more, but it was just easier to copy somebody else, or they Googled it, or they AI'd it, or whatever they did.
Yeah.
And it makes it 10 times harder understanding that it's like, until people start going, "No, we're not doing it."
Well, and as I remember right, I don't know all the facts on this, but a few years ago, they had some trouble with some food trucks and restaurants. They had some food trucks just kind of showing up, and they didn't have any kind of regulations and stuff. And then some restaurants were raising hell that, this old deal that the food truck's going to put them out of business. Food trucks don't have to pay any taxes. The same rigmarole you hear all the time, which people don't, they need to get all their facts together. Right. And, they've implemented all this, and they've implemented it. I agree with you, Darren. They went someplace where they've already got them, like Chicago or some city that's really highly regulated, and just copied that. But I mean, I the only thing I'm waiting on now is rabbit go by.
Couple hotties going by on a boat.
Oh. Skin to win. It's Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And but I've got everything put together except my permit from the health department.
I gotta get the back view.
Stop, you weirdo.
Is the back as good as the front?
Stop. You two are gross.
Maybe.
Nice. I just heard somebody go by, and I think it was somebody in an old truck or something. So I know what you mean. I can relate to that. I got the same thing. Old junk trucks going by and stuff. So just the fact of who the fuck's going down the road? Who's that going through here this time of day?
Who's going down the canal this time of day?
Don't they work on Fridays?
Yeah, no shit.
Well, tonight around here, the side-by-sides will come out. And then this weekend, the side-by-sides will be thick. Yeah, I mean...
You better get you one of those, Randy.
Well, Marla brought that up. She said, we ought to get a side-by-side so we could fit in with the rest of the community. And I said, one, where are we going to put it? And two, I don't see that.
And 2, no.
No, I don't.
Tax write off though, Randy.
Oh
Tax
yeah,
write off.
yeah. And actually going to a graduation this evening.
What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
What?
I'm going.
One of your
Yeah, I'm going.
boys?
Huh?
One of
No,
your
my
boys?
nieces that live across the road.
Really?
Yeah, going to a graduation, going back to my old alma mater, Franklin High School, home of the Flashes.
You're actually going to the ceremony?
Yes.
You got a fever? I thought you were over that stuff.
Well, I'm going because they're having a party tomorrow night, which I would go to, but we've got 2 weddings tomorrow evening. So I'm not sure we'll get back in time to go to the party. So I want to make my appearance and go to the graduation.
Randy, all they give a shit is that you put $50 in an envelope and a card.
Marla's got that. Got that. Well, no, yeah, but it's the principle of things, Darren, and you know well what I'm talking about.
That's the great thing about being a barbecue guy. We've always missed all that stuff because we were always gone.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right.
I'm lucky I made Haley's.
So I figured since I can't go to the party, which if we get back in time, the party goes till 7:00, and I'm like, "You're gonna go? The party's just till 7:00?" Because I went to a birthday party last weekend, and I said, "You're gonna just have a party till 7:00?" Well, no, that's when Carrie can start drinking, because she can't start drinking until after 7:00 when they call the party over. So we'll venture over there, and that would be a good place. It's just around the corner at York Farms, and a nice shed that they built. Got a pool table, bar, reach-in coolers.
Be a nice place to ride the side-by-side too.
Yeah, there's a lot of side-by-sides go over to that. So, matter of fact, I got to buy some beer. When we went over there, I hated mooching beer off people, you know. I don't even know, can you buy a 6-pack of beer anymore?
You know what? Just buy 40s.
Then let people talk about it.
Just go. Don't stop at Casey's. Go to that cheap convenience store. You know, the one
that
you
cheap
should
liquor
be
store.
going in. Cheap liquor store and buy some 40s. Show up with some 40s in some paper bags. Show them the Twyford way.
Show them this is how you. Never mind about censored myself, but that's how we do it around here.
Emma doesn't seem real interested in our conversation today.
I just can't relate to it. I've never had to get permits
A 40?
and things.
You've never had to get a 40? Have you ever drank a 40?
No.
You ever got a 40 of PBR or malt liquor?
Not malt liquor, but some other beers I have. And then, like you said, get a paper sack.
40 of malt liquor?
I don't think no. I know. I don't think so.
Have you ever got a bottle of Boone's Farm Strawberry Hill and chugged it?
No.
You ever got a 2-liter bottle of Sun Country wine cooler and chugged it?
Sun Country.
No.
Boy, I don't know.
She's missing out.
I don't know that you've lived life.
And the key is you got to put it in a paper bag.
I feel like I have lived life just fine.
No, you're missing out.
I just don't really drink that much anymore.
I forget where I was at this week. I saw a guy outside of a grocery store or a convenience store, and he looked like he was having some issues, and to say the least. And so somehow he got ahead of me and going into the store, and I looked at his ass, and he had a bottle of clear plastic bottle of vodka.
Yeah.
So that's the high dollar stuff when you get the pints in plastic.
Yeah, the Popov.
Yeah. He had him a vodka and had it stuck in his back pocket while he's going shopping.
While he's going shopping. 40.
Which as he was in the store, he was kind of having the go to one side and the other.
Waving.
Yeah. a little weaving and stuff.
Yeah, so I think we got another big weekend of graduations.
Oh, I bet you do.
But everybody gets Monday off, right? Memorial
Ew.
Day. Fuck, you get Fridays off. What do you care?
My
I'm
guys
working.
don't get Mondays
I'm
off.
working.
They're coming into prep.
Did everybody hear that? I'm working. What'd you just get done doing, Emma? I just had a nap.
Well, yeah. That's over my lunch break. What do you mean? This is also a job for me.
It is.
This podcast. I mean, I make money doing this, so yes.
We do not, Randy.
Right.
You guys don't have to do all the hard stuff. I gotta do all the hard stuff.
So I feel like we should throw out some more cuss words, Randy, and make her have to edit shit more.
And talking
Just
about
so she
those
can
hot
earn
chicks that just went down the intercoastal waterway.
That's right.
I've actually I've just given up and decided that that's the content that a lot of our listeners want to listen to because they think it's funny. So
They do. They do. They do. They want to see
I don't do
Emma.
much editing.
If we don't do something that embarrasses Emma, then it's not a successful podcast.
How was the swimsuits on those girls that were on the intercoastal waterway?
What swimsuits, Randy?
Ew.
Get the fuck out of Dodge.
That's just not true. It's
No, they had swimsuits on.
Those
You know
thong
them-
kind?
The tongs,
stop.
Thong, yeah.
like the grilling tongs.
Yeah.
What is you? Okay. You know what feedback I got from last week's episode from my mom? She said, "I saw that coming from a mile away." Them bringing up you being hit lanes. She said you teed it up.
Shacking up.
I teed it up, and so you know what? I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm not gonna play into this game.
You're going to stop doing it. What?
Just playing into this game of you guys trying to get a reaction.
I don't know what she's talking about.
I'm just not gonna do it. You know what? Talk about. Actually, don't do it. You shouldn't ever. I can't even say it. Ugh. Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
See? See?
Fuck is wrong with you two?
My
guys are
fifth cup of
weirdos.
coffee's kicking in, so. Had a Starbucks today. Starbucks today.
Oh, wow.
It's hardly even coffee.
Got one of them overpriced, expensive.
No, I got a $3 large black coffee. That's all I want.
And was it burnt?
No.
That's a shock.
And with a little ice in it so I could drink it today.
That's also a good point.
We learned a lot about coffee this week.
How's that?
How so?
Well, we're in the process of changing coffee vendors at the Jam.
Okay.
Our current coffee vendor is, they've lost their regular route guy, and they're out of Kansas, so they, it was a stretch for them to service us anyway, but they're really struggling with equipment, right? And so we've had some issues with equipment breaking down, like
Side by side just went by.
oh, there it went. But anyway, we've had problems with equipment breaking down. And so we went by with one brewer on Mother's Day.
Holy Toledo.
Yeah. I mean, to the point that we had somebody there at 4:30 in the morning brewing coffee, dumping in Cambros.
Oh, shit.
I should have just went to Hy-Vee and said, hey, give me 25. I mean, we went through over 25 gallons of coffee. And I should have just went to Hy-Vee and said, give me 20 gallons of coffee in a Cambro and bought it and been done with it.
Right.
But we didn't. They kept up. Well, kind of. Not really. We had people waiting in line saying, hey, can we get a cup of coffee while we're waiting? I'm like, no, you can't, because we can't even get it brewed fast enough to
For the
whatever.
customers.
So anyway, we called in a vendor, a longtime vendor of ours that has coffee that we probably should have went with, but I didn't even know they had coffee to start off with. And so we brought them in and started talking coffee with them. And they said, kind of did an analysis of our equipment, and they said, wow, your grinder's not set right. Your water levels aren't set right, all this stuff. So we weren't, we were leaving when we were brewing, we were leaving a full cup in the brewer. The water fill wasn't set right. So every time we brewed, we were not taking advantage of that brew cycle.
Right.
And every time we were brewing like 3.6, or we were grinding like 3.6 ounces of coffee for a pot of coffee. When really we should have been doing 2.6 ounces. So we're wasting an ounce of coffee every time just because we didn't have the grind settings right on the grinder.
Now, out of curiosity, do you know what that coffee costs you? When you're buying the beans like that.
Oh yeah, I mean I know coffee, depending on the coffee you're buying, is anywhere from $12 to $14 a pound.
Okay. All right. I had no idea.
Round, yeah, $12 to $14 a pound for coffee. So we learned a lot about coffee, and so now the current, the new providers brought in at least one brewer. It's going to take a month to get in so we're going to have a backup system. So we got two brewers. If one I always got to have a backup plan, right?
Right.
So we got one brewer in. Well, that brewer went down this morning at 6 o'clock.
Holy shit. From the new provider?
For the new provider. Well, it was blowing the GFI. And I'm like, well, just get it plugged in, whatever. And there was a problem. I'm like, okay, and so I was talking it through, get to another outlet. And I was one step away from, just cut the damn ground plug off of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we did at barbecue contest.
But it was just a brand new brewer. And so I just need to get them some of them little gray plugs that go from 3 to 2.
Adapters. Yeah.
Adapter. Right.
How many of those have we went through at barbecue contest?
I give out so many of them. But anyway, so it ended up at the end, what happened was they had spilled coffee yesterday and it got down in the heating element of the warmer.
Oh.
And it was shorting it out, and it was tripping the GFI, exactly what it was supposed to do. So he found that. We were able to fire up the old brewer of the old provider and keep going. Well, then, the new provider came in, and he was able to get it all dried out, and we're back in the coffee business for the weekend.
Good.
We thought we were going to have to call an electrician, which was going to be on a holiday weekend, was going to be damn near impossible.
Right.
But supposedly it's all fixed, and we got through the day.
Good.
So, just but
how many brews of coffee would you, or how do you measure it, by the pot or by the brew, or
of what?
Coffee.
What do you mean? How do I measure it?
Well, is it a pot of coffee? Is what you're calling a brew that gets the 2.6 ounces?
You're brewing a 64-ounce pot.
Okay.
So 2 of those would make a gallon.
Right. How many of those would you say you go through on an average day there at It's My Jam?
I don't know on an average day, but I would guess, they'll prove me wrong, but I'm going to guess we're going to go through, we went through, I think we figured out we went through 25, 26 gallons of it on Mother's Day, which would have been, that would have been 50 some pots.
Right.
So I would imagine we're probably going through 30 or 40 pots a day.
Right.
We're finding that our Mother's Day volume, we almost did our Mother's Day volume last Sunday too. So
really,
business is really picking up at the Jam. It's really,
business is booming.
It's really booming. And today we just got the new patio. They sent me a picture. They were unloading all the trusses and everything for the new patio. So,
okay, you've got that all straightened out with the city. The county.
That's all straightened out. And I sent a message to the guy that's building it, and I said, "Hey, I see we got this material delivered. I'm assuming if you work all weekend long, this sumbitch will be about done by the weekend." He goes, no. He goes, "I was just waiting for you to get back from Canada so I could start on it."
Ooh, ouch!
And it had the plywood sheeting on the top, and I said, "Well, yeah, I figured I figured, Joe, you'd want to get a couple of reins on top of that OSB board to get it nice and aged before you put it up. I understand. So anyway, but yeah, we got the coffee crisis solved.
Sounds like it.
Catering's been picking up. We people wanting random stuff, but I'm like, hey, you want random stuff? We'll do it. We did a gallon of chicken and noodles today. They were out of the jam.
Did you really?
They love the daily chicken and noodles. Like, hey, can we get a gallon of that? I'm like, sure, I'll do a gallon of that for $70. Yeah, knock yourself out. And,
right.
Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. Hey, Amanda, before you leave for the day, do a gallon of chicken noodles, will you?
Oh, I'm sure she loved that.
She loved it. She made it happen.
She's going to the lake today. Actually, she's probably already there.
With no kids.
No kids.
Yeah, I know. She called me. She had a couple things. She had a couple things she was doing, and she called me, and I had one thing I wanted her to do, and she goes, "Are you in front of your computer?" Yeah. Forgot. I'm like, it's fine. I got it. What do you want? Boom, boom, knock it out. She goes, okay, I'm officially checking out. I'm like, great. You're out of here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no kids and just the one dog.
Yeah. But there won't be no sunbathing up there because hell, in Iowa, isn't it supposed to be 60 degrees or something?
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah,
it's chilly.
Bullshit.
My house got just chilly enough yesterday. I did turn on the heat for a little bit.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
I prefer this weather, but
boy, I kind of like it. This 94 degrees. Got a breeze right now. Boy, we had no breeze when I went on a walk at 6 o'clock this morning. There was no breeze here.
I don't like wearing shorts, and I like layers. So.
You don't like wearing shorts?
No. I was disappointed I didn't wear shorts today, and it's got kind of warmed up a little bit. Hence, I'm in overalls. So,
I would rather wear sweatpants over everything all year round.
We got an exciting night planned tonight, man. We're going to Walmart and Target.
Oh boy,
Sam's.
So, did the grandkids come in tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow night.
I saw that Griffin just finished.
Yeah.
His second year of school, first year?
Yeah, preschool, second year. He graduated from preschool. He's ready for kindergarten. And, they put on what do you want to be when you grow up? And to my disappointment, he wants to be a teacher and a scientist.
That, to your disappointment, those are noble career choices.
I thought maybe he wanted to be a restaurant owner.
Well, probably not, because if he wanted to become a restaurant owner, you'd be the first to tell him, don't do it.
No, he'll probably still be a restaurant. He'll probably still be a restaurant owner. He'll just have to have that job to make some money.
Yeah. Scientist.
My two nieces that I'm going to their graduation for tonight, they're going in. Marla told me they're going to college to be teachers.
We need more teachers. Teachers are my favorite. I tell you guys that my sister's going to be working at the same school as Lane. Not the same building, but the same school district. Yep. She got a job at Southeast Polk, which is also where Lane's dad is the superintendent.
Huh. Wow.
So she's got an in.
She's got an in.
We're very proud of her.
Yeah,
Go Rams.
I should have schooled Griffin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I should have schooled him and said, "Hey, Griffin,
I don't.
When they ask you what you want to be, tell me you want to be a trust fund baby."
Trust fund baby. Hey, you haven't mentioned much about the cheesecake facility. How's it going?
Yeah, crazy. Actually, I got a chance to. Mark delivered cheesecakes to me on Tuesday. He came up Tuesday afternoon, and he's like, I got to get out of this kitchen.
Now, who's Mark?
And Mark, my brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law, okay.
So he actually runs the operation every day. So my sister, she still has a full-time job. She's still a HR person.
Okay. Okay.
So she's still got a few years before she retires, I think. But Mark's running it, and he's got some other employees there, and they're just going bonkers. They're just
Have they started shipping yet?
no. I don't. They just got capacity to bring me 10 cheesecakes.
Huh.
Do you think they'll get to the point of where she won't even have to work in HR? She'll just go full-time cheesecake?
Yeah, I think that insurance thing comes into play.
Oh, yeah.
The insurance.
Well, if they're like one of your businesses, can't they get your insurance? Can't they be like your employees?
But they're not my
Oh,
business.
you just home the. I guess that's fair.
I'm the landlord.
Got it. Yeah, that's right. I
And
guess.
then I
Did
got
get
him a
that
Me
through.
Too business on the food. So I'm not affiliated with them.
Got it.
I'm just the consultant.
Yeah, big word, huh, Randy?
Yeah, for me.
I just give Mark advice, and I just try and give Mark advice, and I don't tell my sister a thing because she wouldn't listen to me anyway.
Right.
And that's on siblings.
So they're doing good.
Amen.
So they're doing good then.
Crazy good. They've been doing lots of little cheesecake cupcakes.
Okay.
Been doing, how Mark said. They
Ooh.
had he whipped off. He said, "Yeah, we had 250 cupcakes go out, and we had this, and we had 12 cheesecakes here, and 15 cheesecakes go here, and whatever." That's in addition to their normal just walk-in business. So,
Is most of their business down there local?
yeah, local within Burlington, Mount Pleasant, Mediapolis, just kind of
Okay.
I would say a 30-mile radius.
30-mile radius. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. And you would think the novelty would, but there's just not a lot of, I don't know. And their product is just amazing.
They've got
I guess I don't know. I can't eat it, but I've been doing some research on that, Randy, because I'm concerned about us and our dairy.
Well, I've pretty well firmed up what. Funny I say that, firmed up. I've my R&D on the whole lactose thing has come true, and this week there's a couple times I was going to stop by a place and get a smoothie or get a ice cream, and it's like, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it.
I'm gonna test because
Somebody-
I tried the lactose or the Lactaid,
I've got some of them.
and it really didn't work for me. But then people were like, if it's not working, take 3 of them son of bitches.
Ooh.
Get out.
And yeah,
Why? That's so many.
So I bought some last night, but then I saw there's some other brands out there that they're advertising that are much higher strength
Okay.
that you can't get over the counter. You gotta get mail order or whatever. So
Okay.
I thought because I miss my protein bars. That's what I miss. I miss my Bear Bells.
And there's dairy in them.
There's whey protein.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And so, I mean, they're the kind that I can eat them, but you don't want to be around me for the next 24 hours.
Right. I can
Pepe-
tell when I've had just
Pepe
a little bit
Le
of
Pew.
dairy.
Ooh.
I can tell when I've just had a little bit of dairy anymore.
Yeah.
We did have a customer. We had a listener comment and ask if it was Blue Bunny ice cream that you were
Randy,
eating.
Were you eating
Randy?
Blue
No.
Bunny? Probably not, because
Okay.
he probably can't even get Blue Bunny here.
Yeah, we can get Blue Bunny, but it was a higher end.
recalled
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was.
53,000 gallons.
Yeah, but that's just
Just-
a truckload or two. That's not a lot.
Well, yeah, but that's still a lot. I mean, that's still a pretty large number.
Yeah.
Was it
See, the day that-
listeria? Was it listeria or what?
Oh, one of the pictures I saw, there was a whole ass frog in there. So I
Oh.
don't know.
What's a frog? We used to eat frog legs. What's a frog gonna hurt you?
It was a frozen frog. It's just not meant to be in my ice cream. I don't know.
Ain't gonna hurt you.
The day that I just hope that I don't get this whole lactose intolerant thing that you guys have. Is it contagious? Hope not. Because I like my ice cream.
Huh.
Yeah, I've just learned.
And
to
I like
live,
my
but
cheese. Oh, God, I love
wouldn't
cheese.
I wouldn't mind having a slice of pizza now and then, but
Whew.
It affects you. I had some pizza this week, and
My
it
mom
lit me up.
made these. She was calling them Italian sushis, and it was like arugula and prosciutto, and
Boy, she's fucking bougie.
yeah, I love it, and like mozzarella, and you roll it. Oh, so good, so good. And if I couldn't have that, might as well just not have a life.
Huh.
Yeah, look, I just like miss having like last night we had these burgers, and I'm like, he's like, you want cheese? And I'm like,
Yes,
yeah,
but I can't have
do,
it.
but I'm not going to.
Better not.
So last night when I was at the store at 9:00, I dropped Sherry off and I went to the store because she doesn't like to store hop. So I went back to the store and I'm like, I'm going to try this triple action, see if it helps.
Oh, the triple action.
I would like check the warnings and make sure there's not like a use.
Warnings are just a suggestion.
Well, here's the thing.
If there's warnings, that you wouldn't even take it.
Right.
No, well, Randy, we can't have him die. He's the podcast.
Hey,
You know?
God, there's fucking a lot of people. Fucking Norm died.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, Norm died. And Sherry's, you know, I always wondered where I got that saying, it's a dog-eat-dog world and I'm wearing Milkbone underwear.
I've never heard that.
That was, I always say that. I would say, man, it's a dog-eat-dog world and I'm wearing Milkbone underwear. That was Norm.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, I watched a little excerpt on thing. There was a thing Amy posted on 17th Street about Norm.
I saw that.
Yeah. Did you read it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, how Norm used to call the restaurant after they were in Vogue magazine and say, ship me ribs. And they just didn't have capacity to ship ribs. And he kept calling and calling. And finally she shipped him ribs. And,
Yeah. Mike said, let's do it.
yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Uncle Mike can make it work.
Make it work.
Well, what else you guys got going on? Anything?
I got 2 big weddings and a large pickup tomorrow.
Ooh.
I was figuring up we're going to feed probably close to 900 people tomorrow. So
Damn it.
Not bad.
Damn it, Randy.
Damn it, Randy. I'm making Lane.
You're making what?
Fire up. I'm making Lane fire up the grill this weekend.
What are you gonna grill?
Well, I really want smashed chicken Caesar tacos.
With ground chicken?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna put
So you
Caesar,
put the
Caesar and lettuce and romaine.
well,
and
like you'd mix
Caesar.
you would make. I'd essentially make just a Caesar salad, and then you mix it, and then you just plop it onto the taco. And you know. Mm-hmm.
Is there enough
It's like
fat
making
in there is there enough fat in there of that ground chicken to really do what you need to do?
I've been seeing it on the internet, so I'd assume so. Mm-hmm.
Well,
That or maybe a Big Mac taco. I've yet to have one of those.
yeah,
but-
they're okay.
My mama and family love them.
Yeah.
But yeah, fire up the grill.
Fire up the grill. I'm gonna go to my favorite breakfast food truck in the morning.
there you go.
I might hit the Des Moines Farmers Market in the morning.
And then I'm gonna get my toes did. We got a pedicure appointment right after the farmer's market.
There you
Randy,
go.
do you get pedicures?
Yeah.
I've never had a pedicure.
Really?
I get pedicures. I've had pedicures, but I go every 6 weeks and get my toes done, trimmed.
You just don't trim them yourself?
No.
I don't trim myself either, but every time I come to Florida, we get a pedicure, so I don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much about you guys. I don't get pedicures. And I trim my own toenails.
My
Primarily
insurance pays
because-
for my toe trimmings.
Oh yeah, you haven't. I wonder
I
if
don't-
I wonder here.
I can't. I'm going to say this on the podcast. I don't have big toenails. So therefore, It seems like a waste.
There's more to a pedicure than just getting your toenails trimmed.
Well, yeah, but I don't want people to see that, you know? I don't wear open-toed shoes very often, even. When I do, I glue on a fake nail.
Do you really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have a picture of Randy's feet.
Don't show that one.
We're not doing feet photos. You can't do that for free. Put it on photography.
I was trying to find it via
We could get some money.
An AI search, which works a lot.
An AI search?
Yeah. So you can, when you can search your photos,
Yeah.
but you can search it.
What do you tell it if you want it to search for photos? What do you? What do you tell it?
I just give it the year and month.
You can search your library for something.
Really?
Yeah, and so like I searched and said, like tractor, and it brought up my dad in a tractor. It came up with all my pictures with tractors.
And that's ChatGPT or whatever?
No, it's just within your photos.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be damned. Yeah. I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, wow. I looked up tattoo to see if I could find. I have a tattoo on my toe that I think you guys will like. So what do you
do? How do you do this? Enlighten
just swipe down if you're in your photos.
Right.
At the top where it says library, and there's a little magnifying glass.
Yeah. Or search. Yeah, the magnifying glass.
See, right?
Yeah.
And it says search your library.
And you just tell it.
Just type what you want to search for.
And it does a pretty good job?
Does a pretty good job.
I was looking for some pictures, and I couldn't ever find them, and a guy found them and made notepads. There's a picture.
I searched for Twyford, and look.
There you go.
With a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Uh-huh. With Savannah.
One of your workers.
Yep.
Okay. This is what my big toe looks like, okay? My left one.
What?
This is what my big left toe looks like. You guys are going to think this is funny. Okay, you ready? At least I think it's funny.
What the fuck?
That's a nail tattoo because I don't have a toenail. Isn't that funny? So then I have now I have a toenail.
When you were a kid or something?
I had to have them surgically removed.
All
so I don't have
toenail?
either of my big, just my big toes.
Randy.
Yeah. Boy, I was fat then, wasn't I?
Randy,
I was fat as fuck.
Randy, you've lost a lot of weight since you've been on this podcast. Did you know that?
No.
I was looking at the thumbnails, and one of your first ones, I was like, what in the hell? Let me see if I can find it. Because I was like, that's not what Randy looks like now.
Well, let's just say
we
used to eat and drink really well.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm starting to go backwards. I look like I used to. It's gross. Oh, well, my keyboard died, so I can't look it up. But
all right, do we have anything else?
No.
That's Randy's got to poop.
He's got to go to the bathroom.
No, I don't either. I got to go pick my truck up. I got new tires put on it.
Ooh.
4 new tires.
But after he makes a stop at the bathroom.
Speaking of truck, I got to get my food truck listed.
Yes. Yeah. That'd be a nice project for you to do down there.
Well,
it looks like it's ready to go.
It took me 15,000 times to get the password reset on my account.
Oh, okay.
At usedvending.com. I got to figure out what's it worth.
Oh.
I'm just going to give it away. It'll be a lot easier.
Yeah, might as well.
Raffle it off and give it to kids.
Yeah. We're doing a giveaway on the Smokey D's food truck. Comment below, follow us, subscribe, tag 3 people. We'll pick.
I take my truck to St. Louis Wednesday to get the generator dropped, and then go back Friday and get the generator inserted. So that'll be good to get back on.
You can't just leave it if you're doing it that quick.
No, they don't. Well, no, because we got a vending event on Thursday, and I don't want to take a chance of them getting into it, and then it's something else, and then I'm losing money, so
True.
losing events. So
Well,
Okay.
we gotta let him go.
Yep. He looks like he's turning brown in
Purple.
the eyes.
I'm not either. God damn you guys.
At least it's solid.
This is
now.
fun. It's fun when it's Randy that we're picking on. Anyway,
Yeah, at least things are solid. So
I
if
gotta
you
go.
haven't already.
I gotta go shave.
Okay. If you haven't already, follow us on social media at Cue the Mic Pod. Find us on YouTube at Cue the Mic Podcast. Like, follow, subscribe, do other things. You know the drill. Randy, take it away.
boom, out of here, over with, done.
Over with.
Boom.
Happy Memorial Day.
There you go.
Yeah.
Happy Memorial Day.
We'll see you guys next week.
Adios.